Welcome in, Golden Edge fans. Your host here, Cassie Soto, alongside Golden Knights beat writer for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, Ben Gotz. Ben, we knew that something could be coming, and sure enough, it came down on Monday. After 2 seasons with the Golden Knights, the team has let go of head coach Pete DeBoer after the team missed the playoffs for the first time in the team's 5 seasons, Ben. Like I said, something that we knew could come, but the end of season locker cleanout was 2 weeks ago, Ben. The last time that we heard from head coach Pete DeBoer. So in all that time, today of all days, they did make the decision to let go of Pete DeBoer. Is the timing a little bit odd to you or not so much?
No, this is kind of what general manager Kelly McCrimmon had laid out at his, kind of locker cleanout end of media session, that they were going to take their time and try to review this situation. He kind of made the joke of like, hey, some teams fire their coach before the Zamboni is even off the ice for the last game of the regular season. The Knights wanted to sit down first with Pete DeBoer. He met with general manager Kelly McCrimmon, about a week and a half ago at the end of that week where they had locker cleanout day. Then Kelly McCrimmon and president of hockey operations George McPhee met. They kind of discussed where they wanted to go with this. They decided that they were aligned, that they thought the Knights needed a fresh voice heading into next season. So then they, of course, got final approval from owner Bill Foley. And then as of this morning, Monday morning, Kelly McCrimmon officially met with Pete DeBoer and said that he would not be back. Pete had 1 season left on his contract. He hoped that he would return and get a chance to coach this group again, but that's not going to happen. He is going to either sit on that contract and kind of earn, the rest of those paychecks until the end of this season, or he could potentially go out looking for another head coaching job, which would be his 5th in the NHL. He probably, with a lot of teams that have openings right now, would have some interest.
Yeah. What more could Pete DeBoer have done? Obviously, the question is easy, right? Go to the postseason, right? Win a Stanley Cup. But injuries after injuries plagued this team. We know that was a huge part of the results, or lack of results, really, for this team this season. Is there anything he could have done to keep his job this season?
Well, according to Kelly McCrimmon, not a whole lot. He wanted to kind of stress today, and he didn't offer a lot of specifics behind why the decision was made outside of the Knights needing a fresh voice, but he kind of continually stressed, this was not about last season, it's about next season. I'm not firing Pete DeBoer because I thought he did a poor job this year. In fact, Kelly McCrimmon at kind of that locker cleanout day said the opposite, that he thought Pete DeBoer actually did a very good job this year. But he did say this about next year, and I think next year, in order for us to do what we need to do, I think we need that fresh perspective, that different voice behind the bench. The Knights' power play under Pete DeBoer kind of consistently underperformed, despite the Knights having a lot of high-priced talent, especially at forward, and especially once they added Jack Eichel. That was something that just did not click a lot throughout his tenure. Most glaringly, in the playoffs last postseason, when the Knights were 0 for 15 in their semifinal against the Montreal Canadiens. Obviously, there was a lot of questions about how the goaltending was handled at the end of this season, with Robin Lehner going in the net, then out of the net, having season-ending shoulder surgery. There are questions of whether Pete DeBoer handled that as best he could, even apologized at his end-of-season media availability for using the words healthy and fresh to refer to Robin Lehner at one point when Lehner was battling a shoulder injury at that point that, of course, later required that surgery that he got. So there are definitely nits to pick with Pete DeBoer and his tenure with the Golden Knights. Overall, he did finish with the 8th best regular season record in the NHL during his tenure here. Overall, at 5-on-5, the Knights were very good under him, but there were some question marks that popped up, and you have to assume that some of those holes ultimately led to the decision that was made this morning.
Kelly McCrimmon, as you mentioned, is saying that this team is going to take their time this time around, said that they haven't even really started the process for the next head coach search. Do you believe that, or do you think that there was maybe a name or two in mind already?
I'm sure he's got some names circled in, but I think it's easy to say that he probably felt comfortable making this decision because there are a lot of experienced, proven names on the open market right now. There is a lot of experienced head coaches with a lot of proven track records that could be available if the Knights decide to give them a call. One name that Kelly McCrimmon was asked about and did not want to comment on, of course, was Barry Trotz, the coach who won the Stanley Cup at T-Mobile Arena with the Washington Capitals. He was fired a week ago today by the New York Islanders. There's obviously other kind of coaches that have had long track records that could be in the mix. Rick Tocchet, John Tortorella, Claude Julien. But the Knights definitely have options as they head into this coaching search.
All right, well, that will do it for us here today. Again, no off-season for our guy Ben Gotz here, bringing you the news on the firing of Pete DeBoer and soon probably the news of the hiring for the Vegas Golden Knights. You can read all of that at reviewjournal.com. He is Ben Gotz. I'm Cassie Soto. Thank you so much for watching.